Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I want to apologize in advance if I fall asleep while I'm driving and while I'm doing this video, because I am exhausted. I took a red eye back from Utah last night and I slept about 2 hours and I am dragging my ass. Okay, so I got questions. I spoke about forming a new LLC and I had a good question, which was about ordering the EIN number, right? So the EIN is an employee identification number. It's your tax ID number. And the question is, do you order it for an LLC? And my answer is always yes. Because if I'm closing in that LLC, for the transfer docs in New York, you must have a tax ID number. So I always order it. So let's talk about what it is, why you need it, what's the story. Certainly if you're closing in an entity, you need an EIN number for it. Second, if you're going to open up a bank account, you certainly need an EIN number for it. Third of all, it doesn't cost anything to order an EIN number, but you got to be careful because there's a lot of scammers out there. So I usually search. Sorry, I just got a text and my brain is not working well. I usually search EIN online, and then all the paid advertising on top are scam artists. You have to go to it has to be www.irs.gov, and then everything else is after it. Businesses, apply, blah, blah, blah. So that's the only real one. The only real one is irs.gov. And it's free to order an EIN number. You need to put in a social security number of somebody that's a member of the LLC. And you need to answer a bunch of questions. If you want, I'll do a video on how to order an EIN. It takes maybe 3 minutes. And it doesn't cost a thing, but what's very important, and this is the part that people screw up on, is that it shows you an EIN number. It gives you the paperwork right there. You must print that. I print it and save it, because if you lose that paper when you get it initially, it's a crazy-ass, ridiculous process to get a new one. It takes weeks. You have to email them. You have to write in the whole thing. So when you get an EIN letter, right, I call it an EIN letter, which shows the EIN number, I print it and I save it into a Google Drive folder in the cloud. Because if there's as stupid as it sounds, if there's a blackout and I don't have a chance to save it, I'm always scared. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I've unfortunately lost the EIN letters or forgot to print them out. That was a dumb mistake, and then you have to order a different form and you have to request it, and they don't like giving it. So you really got one chance. Oh God, I gotta answer these texts later. You really got one chance to get that EIN letter, and people are gonna ask to see it. Like if you want to open a bank account, you're gonna need to show the EIN letter. When I go to open a bank account for a new entity, I show the things you get when I showed you how to run an LLC are the filing receipt, the articles of organization. And then I create a operating agreement, very simple, like 2.5 page operating agreement it's the same agreement for almost every LLC I start. And then an EIN number. You must have a tax ID. So do not think you don't have to order tax ID. Now look, here's the complicated part. If you're planning to sell the interest in an LLC, right? So let's talk about why you might do that. You might do that if the seller refuses to allow you to assign the contract, and then you get a good buyer where there's good business. Happens to me a bunch of times. When I thought I was going to close on it, I put it out to my wholesale list. I got great offers, and the seller says he's not going to assign. So then what I do is I will buy it in an LLC, right? My contracts always allow me to put it into an LLC, and then a specific LLC for that purpose. And then I will sell the interest in the LLC, right? That's a way around the non-assignability clause. Now, someone just asked me why I don't do that every time. I don't do it every time because a lot of buyers don't like to do that, and a lot of buyers' attorneys advise them not to do that. Now, it's a stupid thing, and if you're asking an attorney business advice, you're going to get stupid legal advice most of the time. The truth is, because here's their thing. Their thinking is you're buying an interest in LLC. For all you know, that LLC has some kind of potential liability. So what I do is I always open it up very late, like a few days before closing. But here's the part about the EIN. Do not order an EIN on an LLC that you may want to sell the interest on, because it gets to be very complicated. If you order the EIN in your name and then you sell the interest in the LLC, it's very hard to. There's paperwork that has to be filed. So ideally, you order the LLC, and then if you're going to sell the interest in the LLC, you'll order the EIN, and whoever is going to take over the LLC, whoever you're selling the LLC to, he should file the EIN with his social security number. But requesting an EIN number is free. It takes 3 minutes. Maybe you got to answer a bunch of stupid questions. Again, if anybody wants for me to do a video on how to order your EIN number, I'm happy to do it. I don't know if it could be 10 minutes long. I'm gonna have to really stretch, just like I'm stretching now, because we're only 5 minutes into it. And the answer is, yeah, you should order the EIN number on any LLC you create. And by the way, I've ordered many LLCs, created many LLCs, paid $200 and then not used them at all. It happens. It's the cost of doing business. It's probably happened to me 30 times. So, it's a few $1,000s over time, but I got, it's just things that you've got to do to make your life easier. Having those LLCs makes life easier. And then sometimes the deal falls through. So you want to order that EIN when you know if you're selling it or not. If you're not selling LLC and you're going to close in your own name, you can do the EIN with your social security number. If not, I would ask the buyer who agrees to buy the interest in LLC, hey, do you want to follow the EIN? Do you want me to? Just give me a social security number and an address and a name and I'll do it. So that's the way to do it. That's the cleanest way to do it, right? You can always order an LLC, but the EIN should always be ordered only when you're sure who is going to really be owning that LLC at the time of closing. I think that's it. I am so freaking tired. Wow, I am dragging. I should drink some more coffee. I'm going on a seller appointment now. I may fall asleep literally at their table. Just to recap, EINs should always be ordered when you order an LLC, but do not order them until you know. And I've told you dozens of occasions I have been 100% sure I was going to close on it. Maybe there was a non-cooperating occupant or some reason that I thought, and then I just threw it out to my list. And lately, those things have been going for crazy numbers. So I would recommend ordering the EIN number late. Now, sometimes if it's a short sale or something like that, the bank's going to ask for your corporate documentations. They may or may not ask for the EIN. So it complicates things. Sometimes you're going to have to do it. It's not impossible if you order the EIN and your social security number to then sell the interest. It's just, it becomes a hassle. And that attorney, the buyer's attorney, may give you more crap about it. So, again, a lot of buyer's attorneys don't know what the hell they're talking about anyway. Well, most sellers' attorneys don't either. So that's how it works. When you order an LLC, should you order an EIN? The answer is really yes. The question is when, and be sure whose name it goes into is the person that's going to actually own it. Now, there was another part of this question, and I don't remember. I'm getting a lot of inquiries from the same person. Crystal, you know who you are, and I'm very happy to answer them, so keep the comments coming. Now, these are just a few of the ways I can help you. If you're interested in other ways I can help you, go to I don't know what the website is anymore. howtoflipnewyork.com. That's spelled out HOWTOFLIPNEWYORK. Sorry, New-York.com. If you are interested in the course that teaches how to do this, it's howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. So HOWTOFLIPNEWYORKCOURSE.com. And if you're interested in coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. I'm not going to spell that out. If I don't get coffee in me, I'm probably going to get into a car accident very shortly. So I really should drink some coffee because I need caffeine. My eyes are closing. I don't know why. It's always hard when you come from the West Coast to the East Coast. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are watching on any platform, please give me a thumbs up if you like the videos, you're getting any value out of them. And here's the important part. Please continue to put comments in there with questions. There are no bad questions. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's a topic that I've handled recently or in depth, I'll send you a link to a video or multiple videos on it. And if it's a new topic, like this is something I've never been asked before, I'm going to do a video on it. So someone just asked me to do a video on something I know I did. So I have to look back in the archives and get and give them and send them those. That's the story. So thank you very, very, very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, the tax ID number, the EIN number should get ordered. Just be careful to make sure to know if you're going to close on it or if you're selling the interest in it to somebody else, to know in whose name the tax ID should go. That is it. Thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it.